So a little bit of a different video. Actually want to get in front of the camera for once. A little bit new at this kind of stuff, so kind of bear with me a little bit. But today I figured I'd kind of bring you guys around and show you some cars that we have on the property. Kind of do kind of like a mini Mopar collection tour, I guess you could say. For some people might want to know. I'm not going to get into it too much because some cars I won't be able to show in this video, and there's a fair amount of these cars that are actually pending sales. So, and I'm not going to go into details on that right now. I will, as everything kind of finalizes, I'll go into that more and more in depth. But figured we at least show you what I can for now. There's some stuff I'll probably do a part 2 follow up to this kind of video, so you guys can see anything and everything that you want to see. A lot of it's parts cars, but a lot of it is stuff that's actually pretty interesting for some of us. But I'll get showing you guys around, and I'll get right back here. So, first one on the list, everybody that watches my channel with any level of consistency knows this car and knows it pretty well. This is the 1966 Belvedere 2 that we're going to be building for the No Name Nationals. But before the No Name Nationals, this is actually going to go to Midwest Mopars in the Park, which at current date today, there's about 68 days until that. So we've got a big mountain to climb in front of us, but we'll be kind of back on that. There's a lot of videos on this car on my channel already, so you can definitely check that out. Working on pulling the dash out right now, working on a bunch of stuff, trying to get the quarter finalized, get the rest of the welding done on that. It's probably about 95% of the way there. But pretty much everybody knows this car. Everybody has seen this car as far as people that are consistently watching the channel. And if you don't know this car and you want to know anything about it, I've got probably 10-12 videos on the car on the channel, so definitely check that out and put a like on those videos if you like what you're seeing. Maybe consider subscribing if that's this is the kind of stuff that you like. It's all Mopar related stuff here, so if you like that kind of stuff, consider subscribing. And this car, you guys have seen this in the background of the Belvedere videos, and you've seen it. I have probably 3, 4, maybe 5 videos on this. This is a 1971 Challenger. It's up on a rotisserie. No floor in it. I've got a floor pan that is ordered. Need to do final trimming on the floor pan, as well as I need to repair the driver's side quarter and the driver's side trunk extension. So you'll be seeing stuff on that eventually. I do not know when that's going to be happening, just because, like I say, we're in a little bit of a time crunch for the Belvedere and other related things. So you will see that in the future. And another car that I've not shown on the channel, it's a pretty important car to me, at least. Most people probably wouldn't think much of it, but I really like it a lot. This is my own personal car. It was the first car I ever had, and it needs a lot of work. This is a 1971 Satellite Sebring. It was a 318 automatic, green on green with a white top, so it was a pretty much plain Jane nothing car. But I've got this quarter panel to put on the car, and then after that, I need to do some repair. You can see it was the air conditioning car, and there's some rust by the hole for the air conditioning. The doors are nice and rust-free, and I do have a little bit of structure repair to do. But that's not going to be messed with for a little while longer. Just kind of been so busy with other stuff, I haven't messed with this car in a long time. So I do kind of feel bad about that, but you know, stuff happens, and we all get in positions where sometimes things have to go on the back burner for a little while. But hopefully, I don't know, maybe after I get through with the Belvedere and a couple other related things, I can get back on this. But we'll kind of just see what happens when we have the time to get around to it. The plan for this is to be a triple black 1971 Roadrunner clone or tribute, whatever terms you want to use. I know everybody has their own preference, but it's a pretty solid car overall. I mean, it needs that quarter like I have sitting right here, but trunk pan's solid. The frame rails are all pretty much perfect. The only major structure problem is the torsion bar cross member that's rusted out a little bit underneath where the torsion bars go into the sockets. So that'll be needing it'll be needing patches for sure. Otherwise, if I can find a good panel, I could probably just replace the whole panel. But I've got everything for this car. I've got the grill up there, the dash insert. There's a dash over there. I've got it's a dash out of a Charger actually, but it's the same thing. It's actually a factory tack dash, and it's got an original dash pad on it that doesn't even have a single crack in it, so that's really cool. But as you can see, we got a lot of parts around, and if you don't know already, that's what we do for business, is parts. So if you need parts, let me know. I do have a video on my channel about parts and the side of the parts business of what we do, and we do stuff on eBay. That's probably 6 videos ago. It was like 18 or 19 days ago, so you have to go back a little ways. But if you're interested in watching anything like that, definitely give that a look. So, but anyways, that's it for the cars that are in the back shop, is what I call it, at least the back shop here, where the Challenger and the Belvedere are. So we're gonna go to the outside area now and show you some stuff out there. All right, we're outside now, and I apologize for the wind. I don't know if you guys are going to be getting any wind noise, but I'm going to be looking into getting a microphone for my phone, so we'll be looking forward to hopefully some better audio coming soon. So this is the 1966 Belvedere parts car for the other car that's inside. I don't know if I'd really consider it a parts car. We're going to be selling it whole once we take what we need from it. I'm taking the trunk lid and the passenger side door and fender, and I'm going to be putting the lesser quality stuff from the 66 that's inside back on it. So that's the story with this, and we're going to be pulling the engine out of it. It's a 1970 383. Here's a 1973 Satellite Sebring. Just a 318 automatic car, bench seat, column shift, nothing really fancy about it. And I do apologize for the lighting. It's starting to get a little bit dark here, so that's a little bit unfortunate. And then there's this car. It's a 73 Satellite Sebring Plus parts car. It's got the rally gauges and everything. We're going to be pulling a few more parts off of that, probably cutting the roof off of that, and then sending that off to scrap. So we'll be doing stuff with that as well. And then this car is a 1973 Satellite Sebring Plus with a Roadrunner hood on it. Somebody put that on at some point. And this is a 400 big block automatic car with the rally gauges because it's a Satellite Sebring Plus. But it's a pretty rusty car, you know, so we were going to pull the engine and transmission out of this and put it in the rust-free Texas car over there. So that was our original plan. Stuff kind of gets in the way. I don't know if we're going to get around to that or not. Might end up selling the pair. So definitely keep you guys updated on that, because I know some people really are starting to like those cars, and I like them too. But they can definitely be a little bit of a different market at times for people. And then over here, there's a 1972 Charger convertible, the only ever convertible. No, we cut the roof off of it. But this was a pretty rusty car. As you can see, the rocker panel basically doesn't exist. So that's obviously a problem. As well as this whole car was just full of Bondo. So it wasn't really a loss to cut this one. So that's kind of what we ended up doing. And the frame rails, the frame rail structure of this car is actually really nice. And the reason I mention that is because I have all the structure still in this car, which would be great to be used on this 72 Roadrunner. There's a video way back in my channel. If you want to look for it, you can. It was the original video of this car being for sale, and it is still for sale if somebody wants to save it. But it's really rusty. It's probably the worst car as far as rust on the property. It's a 1972 Roadrunner, real deal Roadrunner with a clean title. It was originally a 340 4-speed car, one of 329 ever built. So that's kind of a really rare, really cool car. As you can see, the wheel and tire is actually setting off towards the back in the kind of wheel tub, because the leaf springs are actually broken on it. But you can see just how rusty it is. I mean, you can see it's just gone. But as you can see, there's the 4-speed tunnel, there's the rally gauges, there's everything. It was originally B5 blue with B5 blue interior with the black stripe. And somebody at some point, for who knows what reason, decided to paint it with some purple house paint. So that's the story with that one. Not really much to it. This one would be going pretty cheap, but like I said, all the metal is pretty much bad. The trunk pan is actually surprisingly somewhat intact, but you can see this quarter panel is gold. Somebody swapped the quarter panel off the car. For some reason, they riveted a piece of galvanized tin there. So there's been some work done to this car, and this trunk lid is probably the worst one I've ever seen. So I don't know, it was a pretty cool car back in its day, but today is not that day. It's got a gold quarter panel on it. The doors seem to be original, but the whole front clip is gold as well. So I think they used a gold car to try to save this one at one point. So I don't know. But this one and that 72 Charger shell, I've got a clean title on this, fender tag, whole deal, no engine or transmission. I mean, it could probably go for just under $4 grand. So if you're interested in something like that, I'll put my email in the description of the video. Some of you might think that's high, but I could part out the dash alone for $1,500. So I could sell the seats out of it, even though they're A-body seats, for probably $300-400 alone. You know, the doors are junk, so that's not a real big factor. But the mirrors, those are real deal original sport mirrors. The mirrors together will sell for over $100. It's a real Roadrunner hood. The hood will go for $400 plus. And these fenders, this fender is actually really nice. The other one's messed up, but this fender is probably $600-700. The whole front clip, you know, is a couple grand at least. And all the trim, all the chrome, there's interior parts at $4,000 for this and that other one for the parts rails that are in it and stuff. That's a steal of a deal if you look at it from a parts perspective. But it's a lot of work. So I don't know, if anybody's interested in something like that, let me know. I'll put my email in the description, like I said. And then over here, here's my truck that was hitting the front end a couple years ago, as well as a parts truck back there. But anyways, those don't really matter. But this car is potentially sold. It's a 70 Challenger. No title or anything on that, but it was originally yellow, black top, black interior, 383, not 383, 318, excuse me. Bucket seat, console car. So, I mean, it's pretty rough, but it could be saved or used for parts. And this car, oh, I wish this car wasn't rusty, but it is. Underneath all that lower trim, there's barely any metal. This is a 1967 Monaco 500, and it's got every option you can think of. Probably gonna have to part it out just due to the condition of it. But it's got a console, it's got bucket seats, it's got a tilt telescoping wheel. I mean, it's got, look at that, it's upside down, but you can see it's got electric door locks, cruise control, air conditioning, everything. And the best part of the car, I'll actually just show you. I don't even need to tell you, I'll just show you. If I can get the latch. Any guesses on what that is? It's a 1967 HP 440 with the 915 closed chamber heads and everything. So definitely going to be keeping that. So we'll be doing that in another project someday. It was told to be a runner. It ran 2 years ago, the guy told me, so I believe him. Yeah, I mean, it's got cruise control, it's got everything. So, but anyways, that's the Monaco 500. Back up here a little bit, we got not to sound mean, but probably two of the weirdest looking cars I could ever imagine. I have no problem with 67 through 69 Barracudas, but when you turn it into a convertible, I don't even understand. It just doesn't make sense to me. If people like them, cool, but not me. This is a 67 Barracuda convertible. Got some Flintstone floors action going on there. Everybody loves a little bit of that. You even got holes in the back so your kids in the back seat can pedal on the floor. But got the doors for it. Got a couple other parts. It's got a really, really nice convertible top. And this got a clean title on it. I mean, if somebody wanted to buy this for parts, it'd be probably $1,100. That convertible top assembly's worth that alone. And it's got the convertible windshield frame. If somebody's got a convertible, this is good for parts. So if somebody wants that, let me know. Same thing with that 68 over there. The top on that one needs some work, but it's not too bad. Still got the console in it. I gotta take that out, but this one will only be probably a few $100. I don't have a title for this one, but there's not much left of it. But if somebody needs convertible top parts or the convertible opening in the quarters or any stuff like that, let me know. Like I said, I'll put my email in the description of the video. And then there's this Challenger. This Challenger I want to sell, and I want to sell it bad. And if somebody wants to offer me, you know, if somebody will pay between $3 and $4 grand for it, it's a clean title 1970 Challenger. Somebody was converting to a drag car, but then the gentleman that was doing it passed away. It's got rust, it's got problems, it's got patchy work done to it, but it's a real deal 70 Challenger 383 two-barrel car. And I've got a clean title for it. So if anybody wants something like that, let me know. And then this car. Everybody that follows the older stuff on my channel probably knows this car because I've shown it a few times. This is a 1970 Challenger TA. There's a lot of history on this car. There's a lot of story on this car. If you want to know more details, go back through my videos. I've got detailed videos on that. This car is sold. It is set to be restored. So looking forward to seeing final results on that. It's F8 green, black stripe, black interior, 340 automatic with the 6-pack and everything, like all the TAs and AAR Cudas were. I believe it's one of 2,499 Challenger TAs. Correct me if I'm wrong on that number, but I think I'm right. And the rare thing about this one in particular, it's one of 8. I've been told this. I cannot 100% guarantee. I have not had paperwork or anything related to this, but I've been told it's one of 8 bench seat column shift cars. Or at least it's one of 8 that's known. I don't know details on that. I'd have to ask. But got all the stuff for that, and that car is pending sale. So we'll be looking forward to seeing progress on that. If I get progress report, I'll definitely update you guys and let you know. But that's it for this section. I'll bring you around to the main kind of front yard area, and I'll show you some stuff over there. Well, we're back kind of in the front area of property at least. Now we're getting into the good stuff. This is a 1968 Coronet RT with the special RT tail lights and tail panel and all that. This car is really, really rusty in the back half and has some damage in the front half, but it's a real deal RT. It's got the bulge hood, and it's a 68. It was, and still is, I should say, bucket seat console. I don't know if you can see the console in there, and it is a factory tack dash car, so that's really cool. And it's a mostly complete car, and besides it being complete, I have all the metal to fix it. I've got rear frame rails, I've got the trunk, I've got all the other support braces. I've got trunk extensions and all that stuff. This car is also pending sale. Don't know details on that, so not currently for sale publicly. So if you're emailing about anything, this is not one to ask about, because it's not going to be it's not for sale. We'll just put it like that. People we know are going to end up with it, or else it's just going to stay here until we get around to it. And here's a 68 Belvedere. This car is sold. It's a 1968 Belvedere. Nothing really fancy about it. It's basically, how do I say this nicely? It's about as bad as you can get in a 68 B-body. It's basically the lowest level trim car I think I've probably ever seen in a two-door B-body. It's originally gold, as you can see, and it's got a slant 6. And not only does it have a slant 6, it had a 3-speed manual. They didn't even upgrade to an automatic. I believe the manual was lower level than the automatic. I'd have to look at that, and if you know that, definitely let me know in the comments. But it's 1968 Belvedere, so it's kind of cool. It's a two-door post. I'm not sure if all Belvederes were two-door post, or if it was optional to get a Belvedere as a two-door hardtop. I'm not sure about that. If you know, put it in the comments. But yeah, that's kind of a cool car. It's cool that it's just because it's 68 B-body, you know. And then there's the 73 Charger. If you go way back in the channel a little ways, you'll see a lot of stuff on this car. Real deal 440 car, and it's a coupe. It's one of 26 440 coupes. Extremely rare car, and it's in original paint. It is JY9 dark gold metallic, or more commonly known, tawny gold. This car runs and moves. Needs a lot of little stuff. Needs the exhaust redone. It needs some adjustment to the kickdown and related stuff like that. So, not really a big deal. This car is sold. I didn't really want to sell it, but with everything else going on, I just don't have the time for it. I don't really need it around anymore. So, unfortunately, going to have to say goodbye to this one. And yes, I know it has 72 taillights in it. The original owner told me that it had 72 taillights in it. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I've been told. There's actually the original dealership it was sold from, so that's kind of cool. But I put a lot of work into this car, a lot of, you know, commonly referred to as kind of blood, sweat, and tears in it, but it's all true on this one. This caused me a lot of frustration, a lot of pain, but I will say, driving it the few times I have, I'd say it's worth it. And then there's the 69 Super B that we just got. Go back a couple of videos, you can see a more in-depth video on this. My dad wants to, potentially with this one or with a different one, wants to one day do a A12 clone. That's the 446 pack. And we have a 4-speed, we have a Dana, we have a 440. We just need to get a 6-pack, and we need to get a lot of work done on this car, or if he finds a different 69 Super B he would rather use, we might do that. But if you want to see info on that, there's a full video on that. And then this will be the last one for this video. This is a 1970 Barracuda Grand Coupe. And once again, you go back probably 4 days, 5 days, something like that. I did a full in-depth video on this as well. And you can definitely check that out. But, you know, as you can see, we got a lot of stuff around. This is actually a complete car. It doesn't look like it right now, but aside from the engine and transmission, this car is 100% complete. I have everything for it. We got the original interior and everything. This was originally B7 blue with a white full vinyl top with black and white houndstooth interior with the red inserts in the door and stuff, with the kind of Grand Coupe style way that they did stuff. So that's really cool. I really like this car as far as what it would have been originally, but it's definitely more work than I would want to do, and if you want to know why, definitely check out that other video. But yeah, that's pretty much it for kind of what's on the surface of things around here. And I'm trying to think, there's at least 3 more cars that aren't being shown right now. So I could show that in kind of a part 2 of this stuff, but that's kind of a quick walk around of stuff like that. And if there's anything that I mentioned that I would sell, definitely send me a email. I'll put my email in the description of the video. But that is pretty much it for now, and I will see you guys in the next one. Definitely consider like and subscribe and all that stuff.